and welcome. On the Mobad issue, this is one of the cases that has become very difficult to unravel. Difficult because a lot of things are coming to the fore. We are moving away from finding justice to what I can call petty family gossips. It is also very important not to get sentimental when you are handling important issues. When I talk about sentiments, I talk about the first pain in hearts when something happens, insinuations, speculations. Why I say so is the barrage of accusations on Mohbad's widow, Wunmi. She has been accused of being a Malian. She's been accused of trying to deceive the public by her Instagram post. She has also been accused of having something to do with Mohbad's manager, who happened to be a lady, because of her looks. It is said that she is a lesbian. She has been accused of having issues with her father-in-law and trying to corner all of Mohbad's property and wealth. She has been accused of infidelity, of fathering a child outside wedlock. She has been accused of having one or two things to do with Oba Elegushi. She has been called Olosho, hookup girl, and so many other names. At this level, I feel it's still very unfair to brandish someone in a certain light when everything is not confirmed. I am not supporting anyone, but I think that we give people the chance of fair hearing. And until then, when the issue is established, there is no need for name calling. While she gave her own account, we still waited to hear from her brother-in-law, who happened to be Adura, Mohbad's younger brother. Adura had lived a long time with them in their own house, and people feel that he would have a lot to say. But in this discussion this evening, I want to show you how he has complicated the issue. While we were waiting to hear from Mohbad's wife, Wunmi, she came and narrated that there was a fight between her husband and his bosom friend, Prime Boy. The cause of that fight was supposed to be his younger brother, who was told to go and make some pieces of Naira notes, and who was said also to have delayed and caused the fracas between the both of them. Then we felt that, oh, he is in the center of the whole problem and could help us unravel the situation. But he came. To our greatest surprise, he says he wasn't there when the fight happened. What? I'm sure you would have just said what is happening. How is it that someone who is not there caused that level of fight? The initial claim was that he, Prime Boy, had gotten into an argument with Mobad because Mohbad's younger brother insulted him. And I said in my last analysis that it's understandable that in the African culture, you can discipline a younger one. And even your friends, seniors generally, have a kind of powers over the younger ones that they can discipline them. So when I learned that because of the arguments between Mobad and his friend caused by his younger brother, I felt, okay, it's justified. We learned that Prime Boy had reprimanded Mobad for not calling his younger brother to order. But the person that is being called to order now says, I wasn't there when the fight happened. So obviously something else caused the fight. Let's even say that he did. Actually, they could have entered into an argument because of him. But not now, because of insult from the particular boy or guy, like he said. So what exactly? Let me take you through some of those things that have been said before concerning the so-called fights. The police said the friend, Prime Boy, was trying to curtail him from getting into contact with his teaming fans and public. And he didn't like that. And that he was tipsy, he was misbehaving. So they got into a fight. That was the account of the police. The wife says they fought because the younger brother insulted him, insulted his friend. Now, the brother who has been said to be the cause of the fight comes and says, I wasn't there when the fight happened. Let me also show you another conflicting point. When he said that he burst open the glass of one of the vehicles they came with and got caught by that wound. The police also went ahead to show us pictures about the cut. Now, his wife says there was no major cut. The brother says no major cut. Is the family trying to maintain a narrative? Or is the police trying to build a case? Because I tell you that the police is trained with building cases. Then, Prime Boy also says there was no such fight. And he implied that there was an argument between him and his wife. And his wife says there's an argument between Mobad and his friend. And his friend said, I was in their middle when the fight happened. But I don't know what they were discussing. And the wife says, I was in a different vehicle when they were fighting, and I called people to separate the fights. But somehow, I don't know the details of the fight. What do we believe? At this point, I'm beginning to feel like there is something. But we will get there. Now, our hope that Adura, Mobad's brother, will help us unravel this whole mystery was dashed totally. Why? Because he says, I am not the cause of the fight. Secondly, he says, Mobad was hell and heavy when we... Thirdly, he says, when we got home, I was downstairs, they were upstairs. When I went to give them their phone, I had them having an argument. Then he says the arguments, as he overheard, could have been as a result of a visa. He also said, I made the noodles he ate. Now, let's look at it this way. It's either he's trying to be careful, but he's still complicating the matter and implicating the same people he wants to protect. There are a few things I noticed. He says he's not in a talking terms with his father. It's understandable. What you will realize that most polygamous homes have these tussles, because no child would watch his father marry another wife who is not his mother, his or her mother, and remain there. There's only a few children, especially in the Western culture where it is common, that can condone it. But in Africa, where it is not so rampant, there is this animosity that builds up. So let's assume that because of that reason, he's not in talking terms with his father. Mostly because also, as Mobad sang in his song, the stepmother didn't care about them, about their upbringing when their mother left. So that would have caused the enmity between them and their father. Because the boy says, I am not in a talking terms with my father. It's possible that because Mobad has started making a lot of money, his relationship with his father changed. Because one thing that happens in life is when you start getting exposed and getting money, your views about life begin to change. You begin to forgive those that you don't forgive before. You begin to accept some of the things you didn't accept before. You begin to see life differently. And because you can also pay their bills, you begin to develop a cordial relationship with them. So maybe that's why he's still, and as being the senior one too, that could be one of the reasons that relationship with his father was there. Because the war has become between father-in-law and daughter-in-law, which I feel is very, very uncalled for. That moment, Adura says, I wasn't there when the fight happened. And he says he was hell and heavy when we came back. And he says his problem started when the nurse injected him. He also said the wife wasn't there when he was injected. What is happening? What is happening? And in recent times, there's these accusations on Mobad's wife and linking him to Elegushi. Remember earlier when Mobad was attacked in one of his videos, there was this speculation that the people that attacked him were working for Oba Elegushi. In case you don't know, Oba Elegushi is a major traditional ruler in Lagos State. They work with state government. They have a kind of cartel of leadership. And these people have also been connected in so many ways, seen together with the original suspect in this case, who is Naira Marley, Sam Larry. There was a time Oba Elegushi came to say, Sam Larry is not my son, because he was being called somebody from the royal house. So people said it's from Oba Elegushi's family. And he says it's not my son. But people also have proven that at different times they've been seen together. They've been seen together, both with the Lagos state government, with the Oba Elegushi, with even the present president of Nigeria. Does this bring anything to mind? though not confirmed, but these are all speculation in public, and it hurts me recently to hear that there's a story circulating online now that Mobad's wife was served to Oba Elegushi as a hookup girl. That doesn't sound well in my ear, but that's what I'm hearing. Anyway, I feel that the people handling this case are wise to unravel this whole happening. But what beats my imagination is how the police has not brought us to speed in some areas. I once mentioned that the NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, that was accused of arresting Mobad and feeding him with certain substance, said they were not the ones. But there was an arrest where he cried out that something was given to him and that they were hating on him and they had a sinister plan against him. But the official NDLEA said they are not the ones. And we hope that the police that took Naira Marley and Sam Larry in earlier was because of this reason, or at least one, as part of the reason they took them in for thorough investigation. They told us that they are investigating the NDLEA. They have not come out to tell us whether actually is the official NDLEA or the arranged NDLEA. These things will help us to unravel the situation. But you know that in this whole thing, if actually is about drugs, because at first when this whole thing started, there were speculations that Mobad is having serious problems with his record label because he doesn't want to imbibe their values. He doesn't want to go by the things they do, which are drugs and other things. So, this whole thing is revolving around certain suspicion. It's not clear yet. I am not sure, and I can't quote anybody, but I will tell you what is circulating in public space. One, if you begin to connect these things, it will be like this. It is rumored that the people Mobad signed into are in connection with certain drug lords in the states. Now, a show was arranged. I asked a question in one of my videos whether that show was a bait to lure him out, something to lure him out. In that day, that was the day, that was the beginning of the climax of his troubles. So some people arranged the show. He came to that show. All of a sudden, his friend, Prime Boy, who never knew about the show, got to know. He said his friend called him, Mobad called him that he had a show, or he has a show in Ikorodu, and he came. The same person that called you and you moved in his car, you had a fight with him. I remember that in one of Prime Boy's confessions, he said that when the whole thing started, he went back to people that organized the show, what's his name? And that he said he should wait, he's going to find out what's happening. According to him too, by the time he came, everybody had gone. In short, this whole thing is just so complicated. But at this point, when Adura says that he wasn't there when the fight happened, it became very obvious that it's between Prime Boy and Mobad's wife that might be able to give a better clue as to what happened. But I feel that the greater suspect might be Prime Boy. But unfortunately, he's his friend too. In fact, I feel this hurt that this whole thing is happening the way it happened. But I will always say that it's a larger plan. It's a larger plan that has just culminated and people are hinging on the very last end of it as what happened. But I feel that there's something the police knows. One thing about the police is that when they hit a rock in investigation, they keep quiet. You know what I mean by hitting the rock? It's not like Sena countries where no matter how bad it is, it will be dealt with or made known. Even in those crimes, if it's so critical, some information are kept back. But in Africa, where money can walk, money can waka, some of those things will stay down. So what police does is that they look at public safety in their investigation. They look at spirals of events and they will tell you they are working based on national greater good, or but sometimes it works more when it comes to the poor man. I want to believe that if Mobad was the son of a politician and they meet a rock in their investigation, they are going to say exactly the way it is. They will fall heavily on whoever is involved. But Mobad, the reverse is the case. Who can speak for Mobad? If they hit the rock in their investigation, this kind of delay we are having, this kind of silence we are having from them will occur. I once said in one of my videos that if actually the people that are being connected, Sam Larry, Oba Ilegushi, Naira Marley, and that chain of connection that looks like a drug cartel, if they were involved, would the police be bold enough to tell the public? These are the questions I'm asking. Everything are speculations. Everything is still under investigation and not confirmed. But whatever I'm saying is based on information that is on public notice. Another question is, how is it that family members that were present cannot even tell us what happened? There are conflicting reports here and there. It's not helping this case, and I'll tell you why it's like that. It's succeeding. When there is a tussle and enmity in a family, they won't go far. If that family was united, they would have gone far in their investigation. But they are becoming the real issue now. They are on stumbling block in their own case simply because there is this tussle among them. They are not united. So, and I will advise the public to stop adding fuel to the issues they have in their family. As far as I feel, that young lady might not know anything as she's been accused. And if actually she played a role, it may not have been intentional. It may not have been intentional because it takes people who are criminally minded to figure out that somebody wants to use me to commit crime. You know, because people are criminally minded, they see ahead, they see ahead before you even know what they want to act. Sometimes they'll be using you and you don't know. So I don't really know if all the accusations on her are true, but I have a strong feeling that they are not true. And more so because they have not been proven. Until they are proven, nobody should put anything on Wunmi Mohbad's wife. Why would a young girl kill her husband? Why would a young girl kill her husband and answer a young widow? She can easily walk away from the marriage if the issue was that long. Why is everybody painting it and making it look like they are enemies? The issues they are having is things that happen regularly in families. Everybody is becoming a saint now because someone is involved. It would be nice if we get human. I've told you that one of the ways Mohbad's brother implicated his sister-in-law and himself is that he is not the cause of the fight. Sorry, he wasn't there when the fight happened. That whatever he had was told to him by Wunmi, meaning that she could have fabricated anything. Now, the second way by which he also implicated her is to say that they were having an argument upstairs. Somebody could say that something is cooking there that could have led to his death. Another way is also implicating him or her is to say that nothing happened to Mobad in the venue that he was held in when he came home. I don't know who we can believe in this whole thing now.